Qing Yang, while chasing down a fleeing culprit, yelled, demanding him to stop and warning that he couldn't escape. Suddenly, the culprit darted into a dark alley and disappeared. Qing Yang noted to himself that the culprit was incredibly fast, disappearing in an instant. Reflecting on the brief fight and the culprit's quick escape, Qing Yang judged that the culprit's cultivation level was likely close to the peak of the Foundation establishment stage, possibly even at the early stage of the vein condensation stage. This realization worried him, as he thought, "This isn't good for me." Qing Yang knew that if he allowed this person to escape, he'd have to wait another 3 days to try again. He wondered if the culprit would even return to the flowery waterhouse after this encounter. Considering the situation further, he remembered that his mission had already lasted 2 days, with only 5 days left. If he failed to complete the mission within that time, he'd be forcibly returned to the Sky Realm. There, he would likely have to accept the fate arranged for him as an NPC and meet his end at the hands of Ning Yuan's sword. Just then, someone approached him from behind, addressing him as Young Master He and asking why he wasn't going in. Startled, Qing Yang immediately took a defensive stance. The person questioned what was wrong and asked, "Young Master He, what are you doing?" Qing Yang responded by asking if the person was a fox demon and whether she wasn't afraid of him. The fox demon replied, seemingly amused, "Young Master He, why? Why should I be afraid of you?" Qing Yang, slightly surprised, responded to the fox demon saying, "Oh, it's nothing." "You called me Young Master He. Do you know me?" The fox demon laughed and replied, teasing him, "Young Master, he is playing games with me again. This is still the human realm. Let's head into the demon market first." They both entered through a barrier, and upon entering, Qing Yang noticed many demons inside the city. Curious, he asked the fox demon, "Miss, do you really know me?" She responded, "Young Master He, please stop joking with me. Everyone here knows who you are." As they continued moving, they entered a pavilion. While walking, the fox demon explained, "2 years ago, your aunt asked me to forge a set of demon-locking chains for you. The payment was made, but you disappeared. I didn't expect to run into you today at the entrance to the demon market." Once inside the pavilion, Qing Yang saw 3 cute little fox demons. They rushed toward him, embracing him, and said, "Young Master Young Master He, where have you been these past 2 years? We have kept the items you requested safe and sound." One of the fox demons then suggested, "Master, why don't you take all 4 of us sisters home with you?" Qing Yang thought to himself, "What's going on here? Wow, this NPC actually has such a backstory." The fox demon then explained that the demon-locking chains could suppress demon aura and that only a cultivator at the grand perfection stage might be able to sense it. The fox demon scolded the 3 little fox demons, telling them to return to the counter and work properly, asking, "What kind of behavior is this?" The 3 little fox demons obediently replied, "Okay." Qing Yang realized, "This is exactly what I need right now. It's like my wish came true." He then asked aloud, "So I really paid for this?" "I can take it," the fox demon clarified. "Actually, Young Master He, you don't need to pay to take anything from our pavilion. The He family is a great benefactor to the Ding family." Reflecting on this, Qing Yang thought, "They said I disappeared 2 years ago. It was likely caused by being unable to leave the Sky Realm after entering it." He decided, for now, I will just go along with what the fox demon sisters are saying. If the fact that I took over this body is exposed, who knows what kind of trouble it might bring. Finally, Qing Yang mentioned, "I actually want to buy some pills, but I only have a few low-level spirit stones left." The fox demon looked at Qing Yang and said, "Spirit stones aren't worth much in the demon market. Since you often mingle among humans, young master, you must have some human items with you. Those things are very valuable here." Qing Yang thought for a moment, then replied, "Speaking of human items, all I have is this pouch." He patted the small bag at his waist, wondering if it would be enough. The fox demon nodded approvingly. "That might just do. The pill shop is outside, a roadside stall run by a chubby little medicine spirit." Qing Yang nodded in acknowledgement. "I'll go buy some pills then. See you later." Qing Yang began searching for the pill shop. After some time, he spotted a stall and thought to himself, "That stall over there should be the pill shop." Approaching the shop, he called out, "Is anyone there?" A voice responded, "Sir, I'm here." Qing Yang looked at the source of the voice and asked in surprise, You're the boss?" The medicine spirit replied, "Correct, sir. What would you like to buy?" Qing Yang held out a pouch and said, "I'd like to exchange this pouch for some pills. Something that can treat and heal if you have any." The medicine spirit took a selection of ingredients and began refining them. After a short time, he finished and handed over a pill. "Done," he said. "Here's the pill." The medicine spirit continued, "Sir's pouch can be exchanged for a 9-cycle rejuvenation pill. This pill can revive the dead, but Sir only has one pouch, so he can only exchange for one pill." Qing Yang decided to buy a pill, thinking he would offer more assistance with business next time. He felt lucky, as he was able to exchange a broken pouch for a pill that could revive the dead. An incredible profit. Qing Yang made a mental note to bring anything useless next time to see what else he could trade for. After purchasing the pill, he returned to the Flower Water Pavilion. As he entered, he reflected that although he had lost some of his belongings, he had gained 2 treasures, making it a worthwhile experience. He resolved to put his newly acquired items away and go investigate what the old lady at the brothel was up to. Rumor had it that another person had died that day, and he doubted the Flower Water House's business could continue under such circumstances. Suddenly, someone placed a sword against his neck from behind. It was Ning Yuan. She questioned him about the whereabouts of the person who had been chasing him. Qing Yang responded with a hint of surprise, asking what is she doing here. Ning Yuan replied that his demonic aura was exceptionally strong, indicating her awareness of something dark and powerful within him. Qing Yang explained to Ning Yuan that the demonic aura she sensed was likely a residue from his recent battle with a criminal, apologizing for causing her discomfort. Internally, he was relieved, thinking it was fortunate he had put on the demon-suppressing chain, which likely concealed his true aura. Ning Yuan withdrew her sword, skeptical, and questioned him again. He confirmed, saying yes. Still doubtful, she noted that the aura she sensed was typical of someone in the early stage of vein condensation, which was surprising for a low-level mission involving a demon above the Foundation establishment level. She then instructed Qing Yang to accompany her to speak with the owner of the Flowery Waterhouse. She also mentioned that she would report the situation to the Grand Pavilion and request an extension on the mission deadline. Hearing this, Qing Yang's eyes lit up with excitement, and he asked if she was serious. Ning Yuan told him to stop wasting time and follow her. They arrived at Liang He's room, where Ning Yuan questioned her about the appearance of the criminal. Liang He described the attacker as a faceless figure, with only a black void where the face should be, leading her to conclude that it was a demon. Ning Yuan then asked if the demon had attacked while she was engaged in intercourse, to which Liang He confirmed with a yes. Ning Yuan explained to the group that during intercourse, a man's kidney and yang energy reach their peak. She elaborated that this energy state makes it particularly ideal for demons or devil cultivators, as they can harvest this energy for their cultivation purposes. Qing Yang, visibly flustered and blushing, acknowledged her explanation by responding, "Indeed, I see." Madam, now in tears, confessed her regret. She explained that she initially thought Liang He would be safe after switching rooms, so she had allowed her to take on a client. With remorse, Madam admitted, "I was blinded by greed and ruined everything." She lamented that now, after another death had occurred, the Flower Waterhouse could no longer operate in Zuoyao. Ning Yuan asked Madame if there were any other establishments similar to the Flower Waterhouse within 100 miles where men could participate in such intimate activities. Madame shook her head and replied, "No, there aren't." She added that she had thought this young lady was also a mastery, hinting at Ning Yuan's advanced understanding. Ning Yuan responded decisively, "Very well, the perpetrator will return, but he will likely lie low for a few days." She then informed Madame of her plan. She and her junior would stay in the area for a month. During this period, Ning Yuan would disguise herself as a courtesan, while her junior would take on the role of a client to avoid suspicion. Qing Yang, caught off guard, stared at her with a stunned expression and blurted out, "What?" Ning Yuan looked at him calmly and asked if he had any objections, addressing him as her junior brother. Qing Yang quickly shook his head and responded, "No, no." I will do as you say, senior sister, showing his reluctant agreement to the plan. Ning Yuan then turned to Madam and requested, "Please give me a pseudonym to complete her disguise." She clarified that during this period, she would pretend to be a courtesan in order to avoid attracting any unnecessary attention. Madam expressed that she couldn't lower herself to the level of a courtesan, fearing it would shorten her lifespan. Ning Yiyuan assured her that he was only fulfilling his duty to exorcise demons and advised her not to overthink it. Ning Yiyuan then told his junior brother, He Qingyang, that he would live with him from that moment onward. Shocked, He Qingyang replied, "What, me?" As He Qingyang was leaving, he nervously asked Ning Yiyuan, his senior sister, if living with her would put him in danger of losing his kidney. Crying to himself, He Qingyang thought he could transform into his dog form at night. He feared that if he didn't eliminate the criminal, he would likely die first. The next day, standing by the lake, He Qingyang reflected on his studies. He had finished reading the 4th chapter of Universal Law's base technique and found it not as difficult as he had anticipated. Determined to advance his cultivation, He Qingyang resolved to become stronger before facing the criminal again and vowed not to let him escape next time. He was appalled by the audacity of someone attempting to steal kidneys right in front of him. His readings explained how to open the Qi Sea and direct spiritual power from within to the outside world. He Qingyang learned the importance of listening in all directions and maintaining an undisturbed mind. He discovered that spiritual energy was as thin as a thread and as light as a cicada's wing, making it challenging to grasp. After a few days of practice, He Qingyang felt that he could finally connect fully with this energy. Ning Yiyuan was observing Qingyang from a distance, noticing his behavior. She remarked to herself that ever since the day he challenged her, Qingyang seemed to have changed. Ning Yiyuan recalled what Qingyang had boldly declared. "Senior sister Ning, from now on, I will also cultivate in the sky realm. I will defeat you in the grand competition and make you my wife." Puzzled, Yiyuan thought to herself, "I didn't meet him 2 years ago, so why did he want to marry me as soon as he arrived at the mountain?"